On December 1, 1994, Orange County, California, the fifth largest county in America, filed for bankruptcy. A single treasurer had done it. Bob Citron wasn't a Wall Street trader. He was a 71-year-old government accountant in Santa Ana managing the county's investment portfolio. But in the early 1990s, he'd convinced himself he'd found a pattern nobody else could see. Interest rates were falling. He was certain they'd keep falling, so he made a bet, a massive bet, with other people's money. Citron's job was simple: keep county funds safe. Teachers' pension money, road maintenance budgets, money earmarked for hospitals and schools. The Orange County Treasury held roughly $6 billion in 1994. Most of it belonged to other municipalities and agencies that trusted the county to invest conservatively. Citron had other ideas. He didn't buy bonds outright, that would have been boring. Instead, he bought derivatives, financial instruments that amplified his bets on interest rates. Reverse floaters, inverse floaters, structured notes, each one was a lever, each one multiplied his exposure. When you're right, leverage makes you rich. When you're wrong, it destroys you. Citron was convinced he was right. By 1994, his portfolio had swollen to $26 billion, nearly 3 times the actual funds he controlled. He wasn't investing county money anymore. He was borrowing against it to buy more derivatives. The county treasurer's office had become a shadow hedge fund, and nobody stopped him. The board of supervisors didn't understand what he was doing. The state didn't regulate it closely. Citron had expertise they lacked. That was his advantage. Then in February 1994, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates. Citron's entire thesis collapsed. Reverse floaters, which paid high returns when rates fell, suddenly became worthless. His leveraged bets swung against him hard. By autumn, the losses were visible. By late November, they were catastrophic. The county's auditors found a $64 billion shortfall, not a projection, not a theoretical loss, an actual documented hole in the balance sheet. Citron had gambled with money that wasn't his to lose. He'd made a calculation under pressure: interest rates will keep falling, I'll be vindicated, the risk is manageable, and he'd been catastrophically wrong. On December 1st, Orange County declared bankruptcy. The fifth largest county in America, wealthier than most nations, couldn't pay its bills. The filing shocked Wall Street. It terrified municipal bond markets. Other counties suddenly looked suspect. If Orange County could blow up, who couldn't? Schools couldn't pay teachers on time. Road projects halted mid-construction. Hospitals cut services. The pain rippled outward, not to Citron, but to the people who'd done nothing wrong. A single decision made by a single person under pressure had hollowed out an entire region's public services. The cost was measured in teacher salaries delayed, in potholes unfilled, in patients turned away. Citron was arrested and charged with fraud and misappropriation. He pleaded no contest to 6 felonies. The court sentenced him to a year in county jail. He was 72 years old. His conviction was later overturned on a technicality, the statute of limitations, but the damage was permanent. His name became synonymous with catastrophic financial hubris. What made this collapse so complete? Citron had no formal training in derivatives. He relied on a handful of advisors, mostly salespeople from investment banks eager to sell him more complex products. They showed him models proving his strategy would work. They collected fees on every transaction. They had no skin in the game if he was wrong. Orange County also had weak governance. The board of supervisors met infrequently and didn't ask hard questions. Nobody demanded he simplify his strategy or reduce leverage. There were no independent risk reviews, no external audits of his trading desk. The county treasurer's office operated almost like a private fiefdom. Citron's success, he generated real returns in the late 1980s, had earned him political cover. The deeper issue was structural. A government treasurer shouldn't be playing the financial markets at all. His job was capital preservation, not return maximization. But as interest rates fell in the late 1980s, conservative strategies generated lower yields. The county faced budget pressures. Citron's higher returns looked like a solution. They were in fact a trap. He'd made a decision under pressure: take on leverage to generate returns or face budget cuts to public services. He'd chosen the risk. The calculation seemed rational at the time. Interest rates were falling. The leverage was invisible to most people, and for a while it worked. That's the insidious part of financial disasters. They don't announce themselves. The Orange County bankruptcy took years to resolve. The county eventually settled with creditors, recovering roughly 77 cents on the dollar. It was one of the largest municipal bankruptcies in American history. The ripple effects lasted for years. Municipal bond markets remained volatile. Other counties tightened oversight, and derivatives became a scarier word in government finance. Citron died in 2014 at 91. He never worked in finance again. He lived out his life in relative obscurity, a cautionary tale whispered in business schools and municipal finance offices. His story teaches a lesson that repeats across financial history: expertise without accountability, leverage without oversight, and pressure without scrutiny creates catastrophe. The $64 billion loss wasn't theoretical. It was real money that didn't go to schools, hospitals, and roads. It was pension contributions that had to be recovered elsewhere. It was a demonstration of what happens when one person, operating under pressure with incomplete information and without meaningful oversight, decides to bet the county's future on a single thesis about interest rates. Orange County recovered. The county still exists, still functions, still serves millions of people, but the bankruptcy left a mark. It proved that even the largest, richest institutions can fail when the right combination of pressure, confidence, and bad luck collide. And it proved something else, that the people who make the decisions aren't always the ones who pay the price. Subscribe for more financial collapses where ambition met arithmetic, and arithmetic won.